N- Now, in this recording, we have almost arrived towards the concluding part of the story. Okay, so let us look what happens when Joe gets very curious as to where was Delia and how she actually hurt her hand. Okay, so he says, "Sit down here a moment, Delia," said Joe. He drew her to the coach, sat beside her, and put his arm across her shoulders. "What have you been doing for the last 2 weeks, Delia?" he asked. Then she braved it for a moment or two with an eye full of love and stubbornness, and murmured a phrase or two vaguely of General Pinckney. But at length down went her head, and out came the truth and tears. Okay. Then Delia reveals a shocking truth to Joe about her job of past 2 weeks. She says, "I couldn't get any pupils," she confessed, "and I couldn't bear to have you give up your lessons, and I got a place ironing shirts in that big 24th Street laundry." So this is exactly she's been doing from past 2 weeks, that she's been ironing shirts. She's got the job of ironing shirts at 24th Street laundry. And I think I did very well to make up both General Pinckney and Clementina. So both General Pinckney and Clementina were the characters created out of Delia's mere imagination. Okay, such characters did not exist at all in reality. Okay, then she says, "I did very well to make up Pinckney and Clementina, don't you, Joe?" And when a girl in the laundry set down a hot iron on my hand this afternoon, I was all the way home making up that story about the Welsh rabbit. You are not angry, are you, Joe? And if I hadn't got the work, you might not have sold your sketches to that man from Peoria. Okay, so this is the confession that Delia finally makes, that if at all she wouldn't take up the job of ironing clothes in the laundry, then it would be difficult for Joe to carry on with his passion of making paintings and selling. Okay, and she also says that she also cooked up the story of Welsh rabbit. And Joe also has something else to confess about his job. He says he wasn't from Peoria. The man who bought his sketches, or at least Joe has been claiming that a very rich man from Peoria bought his sketches. He says the man wasn't from Peoria. Well, it doesn't matter where he was from. How clever you are, Joe. And kiss me, Joe. And what made you ever suspect that I wasn't giving music lessons to Clementina? So, next comes the truth. "I didn't," said Joe, "until tonight. And I wouldn't have then, only I sent up this cotton waste and oil from the engine room this afternoon for a girl upstairs who had her hand burnt with a smoothing iron. I have been firing the engine in that laundry for the last 2 weeks." Okay, so ironically, both Joe and Delia have been working at the same laundry. He's been working as a man who fires the laundry, a firing man in the engine room, whereas Delia has been working upstairs, ironing the laundry clothes. Okay, so both have been working at the same laundry and lying to each other as if they are making the most of their passion, as if they are making the most out of their artistic talents. Okay, so here comes the hard hitting reality and anticlimax and surprising twisting end. of typical O. Henry's short stories. Okay, so she says, and then you didn't, means didn't you sell your paintings to a rich fat man from Peoria? Then he says, my purchases from Peoria, said Joe, and General Pinckney are both creations of the same art, but you wouldn't call it either painting or music. And then they both laughed, and Joe began, when one loves one's art, no service seems, but Dahlia stopped him with her hand on his lips. No, she said, just when one loves. Okay, and that uh, brings us to the concluding part of the story. Okay, so wherein you finally learn that these young happy couple, they realize that it is not the arts like painting or music that got them happiness in their life, or those are not the real arts which kept their life together. Instead, at one hand, the harder realization, the realization of harsh and hard realities of life, that sometimes as we say that art does not bake bread, right? So it is not the art which kept their lives together, which ran their household, but it is the harsh reality of life, that they had to take up the hard jobs, they had to take up these menial jobs in order to secure their household, in order to run their marital life, and to try to retain their marital bliss. Of course, the first aspect or the first element which kept them together is love, right? So, the first art in the story, you can say, is the art of love that sustained Joe and Delia's relationship, right? And second art, you can say, is that staying together, being together, and trying to run a household in the real harsh and hard world, they actually learned the art of life and living itself, right? So this is the actual art, not painting and music, but instead they learned the art of making a living, they learned the art of uh, having a life. Okay, and also in order to have the kind of life they loved, okay, in order to carry on, in order to keep the life alive which they wanted to live, which wanted they in which they wanted to be part of. Okay, they had to learn this hard art of making a living. Okay, how to earn their livelihood, that is the actual art they eventually ended up learning. Okay, instead of learning painting, and instead of learning music, this is the realistic art of life they had to learn, right? So here the art could also mean the art of love. Then the second meaning of art in the contextual reference of the story that the author is trying to convey could also mean the art of earning one's living and art of earning one's livelihood. Okay, and these are the basic things you ought to do in order to secure the life you wish to lead and live, right? So then later on comes this elitistic forms of arts like painting and music, okay, which cannot be secured, which cannot be learnt, and which cannot be kind of put into use as the straight means of one's life when one wants to make a living or start a living all by oneself. Okay, it is, if it has to happen, it has to happen by mere chance, or mere mere luck, or mere through mere providence. Okay, or sheer matter of luck, has to strike if one has to bake bread upon art, which if one has to bake one's bread using art, then it has to be mere the matter of providence, or it has to be a sheer luck, right? Otherwise one learns life's art, and one also has to learn the hard art of survival and living and making a life and livelihood, if one has to sometimes also lead a life with one's beloved, or with one's loving people. One has to learn how to secure one's life first and make necessary sacrifices for it, thereby secure life and living which you can live with your beloved people. Okay, so this brings us to the concluding part of the story, A Service of Love by O. Henry.